The future is here, old man, and I am here for it. This is absolutely insane. If you thought night vision was cool, night vision thermal fusion. This is the RIX Tactical RENV-C, and it is a thermal clip-on for your night vision so that you can run both night vision and thermal at the exact same time, and it is crazy. This little device is absolutely amazing. If you want to put 10 grand on your face, night vision and thermal is a pretty cool way to spend your money. Now, of course, it is expensive, and we'll get into that in a little bit. The device itself is not 10 grand. I'm talking the entire package. But this thing will connect to any night vision device. So I've got the RIX RNV-31 here, dual tube, white phos, articulating, and it actually has a mount for this. So it mounts right up via a plate system here, but any other night vision goggle that has like PVS 14 style optics, it's got this system. So this is the same kind of plate that's on here. And then this, of course, goes around your objective lens. It clamps down. It works perfectly. In fact, I even tried it with that on these before I realized that I had the plate for this system in the box that came with my night vision. I just had to wrap a couple of Ranger bands around it to make it fit. And then, of course, the guys from RIX told me that I had a plate to make it work. So appreciate that. But this really is cool. So if you guys have been following the channel for the last few months, you know that I have really kind of gotten into night vision. I absolutely love it. And I really appreciate that RIX Tactical sent this stuff out to me. Because night vision is one of those things that, it's a big investment. And there's a lot of information out there. And it's hard to know exactly where to spend your money and how. And yeah, it's just, without experience on it, it's hard to know. They sent out these dual tubes, the RNV-31, and I have been so impressed with them. They are fantastic, and they come in at a really good price point. And I've been using them. Like, I've used night vision probably more in the last few months than most people do in their entire lives. I've gone out shooting with it a bunch of times. I've gone on just walks, hikes with it, whatever. I've used it for all types of things, and I absolutely love it. And so when they asked me if I wanted to try out their Fusion clip-on thermal for your night vision goggles, I said, yeah, let's do it. So they sent this thing out. This unit is crazy. So this back here, you put a CR123 battery in it. It is a very small unit. So right here, this is your thermal sensor. And then this is a projector that projects the image into your night vision tube. Now, I originally thought, for some reason, I had a hard time believing that that image was going to look really good, but it looks amazing. This technology is here, and it's really, really good. Now, the very first night that I tried it out, I took a walk with it, and I didn't really have it set up right. Like I said, I didn't realize that I had this plate in my box that came with the goggles. And so I kind of had it jerry-rigged on with some Ranger bands there. And I took a walk, and I kind of felt like I was getting a little bit too much information, and it even gave me a little bit of a headache. Since then, I've gotten it set up correctly, and I no longer feel that way. It is really incredible. And you have full control over it via some buttons. You have a power button on this side, and then you have a mode and a plus-minus button on this side. That once you realize where they are on your face, it's really easy to deal with them in the dark. But if you don't want to do that, it even comes with a remote. Now this video is going to be pretty much just like a first look at this. I've only had the thermal clip-on device, the RENV-C, for about a week. And so we're going to talk about my first impressions, and then we're going to go through a whole review process. I'm probably going to put out a number of videos just like I did when I got the night vision goggles themselves. So hopefully you guys want to be along for the ride. This video is sponsored by Venice AI. Do you ever wonder what ChatGPT does with your conversations? We all know that our phones, Alexa, everything like that, listens to our conversations and then advertises to us based on what we say. Well, what else are these things doing with our personal information? They're selling it to third parties, including governments. In fact, the director of the NSA, the former director, is now sitting on the board of ChatGPT, which is why I'm using Venice AI. Venice AI is an AI software. It uses open source software that you don't have to download. It goes straight to your web browser, but the biggest thing is that it's private and permissionless. And so you don't have to worry about them selling your information to anybody else, which is kind of why it's a big deal to me. I like privacy, even though I show everything that I do on a YouTube channel. My daughter, she's 13. She uses AI for all kinds of things these days. She's been writing stories with it. She's been making music with it. It is incredible what you can do with AI. It's a very powerful tool, but keep your privacy while you use it with Venice AI. I like the Pro plan personally. It just gives you a lot more that you can do, and you can get a 20% off on your Pro plan if you sign up using my link. That is venice.ai/sawtooth-tactical. Use that code to get 20% off. The code is sawtooth-tactical. The first thing that I want to mention about this is that this device is very lightweight. So one thing that I was concerned about is you already have goggles hanging off the front of your helmet, which is quite a bit of weight. I bought a ballistic helmet, which I probably didn't need. Nobody's shooting at me, hopefully. But I had a really cheap bump helmet that I bought off Amazon when I first got these because I didn't know if I was going to want to invest a bunch of money into night vision. And then I found this ballistic helmet at my local gun shop, and it was so much better than the basically fake Amazon helmet that I had to buy it. And so I've been running this ballistic helmet. Well, ballistic helmets are heavy. And so with this thing on my head and then night vision goggles, it's quite a bit of weight. Luckily, the RNV-31 is a very lightweight goggle, which is nice. But I still was concerned about adding extra weight to my helmet setup. Well, that concern is not really a big deal. This does not add a whole lot more weight. And when you put the whole thing on, I'm still not even using any counterweight on this helmet. I did use counterweight on my bump helmet because the goggles really pulled it this way, but with this heavy ballistic helmet, it's just not an issue. And so, I don't even have my chin strap on, and it's not falling forward. Now, I'm not gonna shake my head a bunch without the chin strap because it probably would, but I haven't really noticed this extra weight being an issue at all. And you can see it kind of, droops down the one side of the goggle just a little bit, but you can tighten that up if you want. But you know what? It doesn't seem to add a whole lot. It doesn't, when I'm actually using it, I don't really even notice that there's anything extra on my face besides the binoculars that were already there, which is really nice. What I do notice is the added capability, the added features that I get in this eye, and your brain, when looking through dual tubes, will put those images together automatically and just make it totally seamless. If you do want to just look through your night vision, I just close this eye, and then it's like looking through a monocular, like a PVS 14 in this side. But if I open both eyes, that's why they call it fusion. The thermal and the night vision is fused into one image that I've found is really easy to deal with. Now, with night vision, there is no refresh rate or latency. You're literally seeing everything as it is, just like you would without anything on your face. That's one of the really cool things about analog night vision versus digital. Well, this thermal is digital, and so there is a slight bit of latency, but I've noticed that it's not enough to really cause me an issue. Now, that first night I took a walk with it, I was really looking around a lot, up and down. I was looking at all the houses, the mountains behind where I live, just really checking everything out because it's honestly amazing. looking at houses, it's almost like you have x-ray vision because you can see all of the studs in the wall because the studs and the insulation are two different temperatures, and what thermal detects is difference in temperature. And so it's almost like you can see through the siding, see through the exterior walls in a house, which is crazy. Also, manhole covers, in the road just light up and glow. Animals, yes. And that is kind of the whole point of this thing, is for detection of other living beings. So I was trying not to walk around and be that weirdo looking at people out and about in the middle of the night. I'm sure I already am. People drive by and they see this guy wearing all this stuff on their head, just walking around in the dark with no flashlight or nothing. I'm sure some people know what night vision is, but I'm sure it looks weird too. So what I did is I used my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, and we went in the backyard and in the front yard just to get some initial footage through this thing. You have a couple of different modes. You have just a regular white hot mode, which gives a full thermal image, or you have an outline mode, and both of them I think are going to be very useful, but probably kind of for different things. The outline mode is crazy. The thermal image mode, they're both, it's really impressive. It's really cool. Turn off the lights in my bedroom at night and look around, and there's a heater. I have just shitty baseboard heaters in my house. They glow bright compared to everything else. Ambient temperature inside is 68, 70. Well, that heater is warmer than that. You go outside in the cold, and this time of year it is still below freezing at night. And it's just amazing. The underside of cars glows. Like I said, when my daughter, I went out to try to get some footage through it. She showed up so obviously. When I was walking, looking up at the mountain, I could see animals and wildlife really far away. They picked up immediately. Which, if you're using this for its intended purpose, you can detect threats much quicker with thermal than you can with night vision. Now, night vision and thermal both have their own positives and negatives, their own capabilities of what they do for you. Night vision, you get to see in the dark, which is a superpower. It's crazy, and I love it. Pair that with a laser aiming module, and RIX Tactical is sending me out their RIP3C as well. Their new laser aiming module to try out, so we'll have that on the channel soon too. But infrared, you have IR illuminator, IR pointer, or laser. And that just increases your capabilities that much more because you have this ridiculously powerful flashlight and an aiming laser that only you can see or other people with night vision. That's really cool. But thermal does something totally different to where you can scan with it and pick up, obviously, things that are different temperatures. So if you're outside at night and you're looking up, we have these incredible mountains behind my house. You can look up there and I'm going to take a lot of night walks with this thing, just like I did when I first got the night vision, because I want to check out how much wildlife is out there. With the night vision, you kind of see like you would during the day, but in a monochrome, grayscale. But you see that way at night, which is really, really cool. With thermal, it will show you what's there that you wouldn't normally see just by looking at something, especially living things like animals or people. Yeah. So far, I've played with this for a couple nights. I'm going to try to keep this initial video short and just kind of a little bit of a rundown of how it works. It's got all kinds of really cool features, but a very simple system to use them. Like I said, it's just got a power button on this side and then you've got a menu and a plus and minus, and it's very easy to switch between modes, between like outline mode and regular just thermal mode. It's got a compass in it if you want. Like you can turn all these things on and off, but you can have a compass in it, which for like land navigation, for even the kinds of stuff that I'm doing by myself at night out here in the mountains. It's nice to know which direction you're going. When you have night vision on, you only have a 40-degree field of view. And other than that, you're in the pitch black dark. It is kind of easy to get turned around and maybe not know exactly where you are or which direction you came from. And with this, you have a compass just right in your vision, which I think is very, very helpful actually, and a really smart addition to this system. There's a bunch of other stuff that we're going to get into in later videos because I just haven't put enough time on it yet. But I do want to say, first impressions are extremely positive with this thing. I got to say, I'm actually really, really impressed with RIX Tactical so far and what they're doing. I mean, they've got an RNV-31S now, which has the same tubes in it as this RNV-31, but with standard mil-spec style optics. Now, I did put cold harbor display adapters in these so that I can run accessories that fit on PVS style optics. But if you don't want to have to do that, they do have a new binocular that has those style of optics. And their thermal stuff just seems to be absolutely amazing technology. Ever since getting these, I've done a little bit of research on it so far, and it seems to be widely agreed upon by the people that have used the RIX thermals that they punch way above their price point. Now, the price point is high. We're talking over $4,000 for this little unit. I've bought cars for less than that. But if you are at the point in your life where you can afford things like night vision and thermal, this is actually not expensive for a thermal imager, especially one that you can wear in your face and see through your night vision. It's really, really cool. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Let me know down in the comments if you have experienced thermal, night vision, fusion, and tell people in the comments what it's like, because I mean, I'm going to show you guys with some clips in these videos, camera through it. I don't know if that quite does it justice, but it is really something incredible to experience. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.